My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Hearthstone Arena. Okay, it's time to pay our dues and get our cards. You know what? I haven't played Warlock in ages, even though I hate Warlock. I still haven't played it in ages, I should probably give it a shot. Junkbot is literally junk, and the mini-mage dies to absolutely any AoE possible, whereas a Faceless Manipulator can either mimic your best card or your opponent's best card. Dark Bomb is very important versatility that you don't find in a lot of Warlock cards. Like you can deal this amount of damage to a minion, Shadow Bolt, for example. But I also want the Bolt of Fist Ogre as a late game card. I think Dark Bomb is slightly more important. That's 100% the Scarlet Crusader. I can't justify either of the other picks. I don't currently have any dragons, so the Blackwing Corruptor isn't amazing. Now, I've actually seen a pick between the Archmage and the Frostwolf Grunt recently, and it was made by Adukta and Ratsma on a co-op stream that they did this morning, so very, very recent in my mind. And they were talking about the possibility of using Frostwolf Grunt as basically a 2 damage attack, so you don't want to use it as an early minion unless you're certain that your opponent is playing a 3-2. But they were also talking about the fact that they don't think Archmage does enough, although the deck that they were using it in was a warrior deck. And they also had extra little damage pings, like Cleave, not Slam in that deck, but they did have Cleave, they had 3 Arathi Weaponsmiths, they had a bunch of ways to use a Frostwolf Grunt to finish off a minion that they had already peppered down with a weapon, or vice versa, use the weapon to pepper off a minion. I think in this deck, specifically, it's probably a better idea to go for the Archmage. If I had a dragon, I would not hesitate in taking the Blackwing Corruptor instead, just because both of these cards are pretty bad. But it's possible that I end up with some spell damage, or some spells that are affected by spell damage in my deck, and I want an Archmage for that. Voidcaller. It's so powerful. If it just summons one thing, that's it. It's so amazing. Big Game Hunter, if your opponent plays something really big, it's a huge swing in your favor. It's so good for that. But if you're relying on your opponent to play a really huge minion for your card to be valuable, and you hold on to it for too long, which I am prone to do, you end up losing. I actually kind of like Bane of Doom. Deals 2 damage to a character. If it kills that character, it summons a random demon. And I'm really, really pleased with Bane of Doom for one very important reason. It was balanced, bug fixed, adjusted, whatever you want to say, recently, to include all demons. So Mal'Ganis, so Jaraxxus, so all of your higher end, like Dread Infernal, Pit Lord, those kinds of things. Whereas previously, it had a very select pool that it could actually choose from, and it ended up, when they fixed it and put in all of the rest of the demons to that pool that it could choose from, it ended up dragging up the statistics of the random demon that you got hugely. So on average, you ended up with a way better demon. So I'll take it. Plus, it's affected by Archmage. Voidcaller again. If Voidcaller summons a Voidcaller, that's 4 mana for 2/3/4s. Crazy. Fairy Dragon can't be targeted. The other two are pretty Loot Hoarder is nice as hell. Bane of Doom versus Shade of Nocturamus. This is interesting. I really do like Bane of Doom. I've proven that with the speech I just gave. But Shade of Nocturamus is such a solid 3, and I don't have any Hellfire, so it's not like I have any anti-synergistic value with it yet. It's just a card that I would put down as a solid 3, and then I would trade it later in the game. The only reason that would be fine for me is if I already held the board and I didn't need to rely on my 3 to hold the board for me, and it looks like I might be in that position fairly often with the current state of things. Scarlet Crusader often trading 2 for 1, Zombie Chow trading for your opponent's 2-drop, and Dark Bomb kind of saving me in a lot of situations. So I think the Shade of Nocturamus here might be actually the best decision for me. Draconid Crusher versus Mortal Coil. I love Mortal Coil, I really do. But Draconid Crusher is not only a dragon, wink wink, I like it. I didn't even wink, so just low effort winking. Also, Fairy Dragon's a dragon. But also, it plays the role of that Bolt of Fist Ogre that I just turned down earlier. And I don't think I would have turned down the Bolt of Fist Ogre if I was offered a Mortal Coil next to it instead. Harvest Golem, sticky 3-drop minion. Nothing really else to say. Demon Heart, deal 5 damage to a minion. If it's a friendly demon, give it +5/+5 instead. We currently have 3 demons in our deck. You've got to remember that we can consider the Bane of Doom a demon. I still think Pilot the Sky Golem is better, because there's no 4-drop that I don't want to have. There is one 4-drop that I don't want to have, and it's Summoning Portal. But there's no other 4-drop that I don't want to have. Stone Splinter Trogg is incredible in the early game. It can just destroy an opponent by itself. You play that before your opponent uses their coin to accelerate their play. Excuse me. And you can effectively lock them out of using the coin, because they might be trying to coin out something with 3 health. And guess what? They just made it so that Stone Splinter Trogg can kill them. I've run into this a bunch of times very, very recently, where Stone Splinter Trogg has completely locked me out of the early game, and then I've lost. And I'm starting to learn the value of the Stone Splinter Trogg as I was about to say as a regard to that, but that doesn't make sense. As a result. Is there anything that I particularly want to use full Bounce Master? Not really. So Mech Warper is probably just going to be my choice. Interesting. Mech-Engineer Thermoplug, whenever an enemy minion dies, summon a Lepidome, so you need your opponent to have a huge board, and then you need to kill it after you summon the Mech-Engineer Thermoplug. But the reason that that isn't good is because Mech-Engineer Thermoplug costs 9. So you have 1 mana to create a board that can kill an opponent's board and summon all of these Lepidomes for you. And then you need the Lepidomes to be valuable. It's too much. I don't have any mechs, so Mimiron's Head is just a more expensive Yeti. So Trogzor can kind of lock my opponent out of casting spells, and I'm kind of interested in that. Hellfire for the board clear. I'm kind of sad now that I've got the Shade of Naxxramas, because if I play a Hellfire as a follow-up, obviously I kill my own Shade. But it's possible that I just need it at some point for the board clear. Oh shit, dog. We're getting some high-end. Deathwing, Alexstrasza, Onyxia. I think Onyxia is the strongest of these. So Deathwing, discard your entire hand, and all other minions are destroyed. Then you just play Deathwing. I can play it very, very late in the game, but it kind of cinches up the game. But thinking statistics-wise, Onyxia is even better than Deathwing, right? If my field is empty, that is 6/6 worth of Whelps and 8/8 worth of Onyxia. So that's 14/14 worth of stats versus 12/12 from Deathwing. Can be played a turn earlier, and obviously doesn't destroy all my other minions, or destroy my hand. Alexstrasza is cool, but it's up against, like, top class. Oh, fuck. 2 legendaries, nice. Not even 2/3 the way through the deck yet. How many spells do I have in this deck? I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 spells in this deck, so the Gnomish Experimenter isn't horrible, but it's also not good. I've got a lot of things in this deck that I really desperately don't want to silence, because I've got a lot of Death Rattles, I've got a lot of special effects via Mech Warper and Fairy Dragon. So Wailing Soul definitely isn't the choice. How many early plays do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I'm going to go for the Sun Fury. I don't think I need the 3-drop. I think my late game is taken well care of, so I'm actually going to take the... Should I take the Earthen Ring or the Mech Warper? Because I do have Harvest Golem, I do have Mech Warper. And if I get offered a lot of 4-drops that are mechs, this will accelerate my plays a lot. But also, if I'm tapping a lot, and I'm using Hellfire a lot, I'm probably going to need a Earthen Ring Farseer. I think this one could go either way. I just know that it's not Bolt of Isdoga. Despite how good Bolt of Isdoga is, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 cards in late game, right? That's almost way too many. I think taking Mech is trying to stretch the deck too far. Unless I could guarantee that I'm going to get... Oh, but I'm probably going to get, like, some mechs. Fuck. If I don't get, like, some really important mechs, I'm going to regret that decision a lot. Flame Imp versus Spider Tank. Turn 1 plays aren't as important as turn 3 plays. And I have some very important turn 3 plays, and obviously 2 Mech Warpers, so the Spider Tank is a relatively easy choice there. I think Mad Bomber fucks me over more times than it doesn't. A Marnie Berserker would be a lot better if I were a mage, or if I had, like, small AoE. I think I have to take the Mad Bomber, unfortunately. Dark Bomb versus Floating Watcher. Floating Watcher is relatively late game. You usually want to play it when you're on 7 mana. And that's so that you can Floating Watcher, tap, and then you get 6/6 plus a card. But I think I might actually have to take it, just for the fact that it's a demon. Really? Yeah, that's actually true. I want things that the Void Caller can summon. Those are all really bad. I don't want to discard a card. I also... This is rarely super effective. Actually, that's probably the best of them, unfortunately. Lord of the Arena is very late game. It's not that bad of a card, because it usually at least trades for something that's 5 mana. But at the same time, I already have enough late game. That's a very easy Zombie Chow. With 2 Zombie Chows, it has to be Shattered Sun. I'll take another Mech Warper. Going all in on getting those mechs that I'm not getting. It's a Bomb Lobber for relatively okay removal. And a Void Walker that will suck. Sorry, Void Terror. I think I might go Wild Pyromancer and try and tilt this towards aggression. The thing is, I can't tilt it super towards aggression because I've got all this late game that might stuff up my hand. Holy shit, hang on, the wrong banners are on. One sec. Whee! There we go. And I'm also not 9-3. Should probably deal with that as well. So unprofessional. I've just come off the back of recording this week's Tavern Brawl, which was good. Really good. I had a lot of fun with that. I can't keep these hands. I have such an aggressive tendency towards my deck. So many 2-drops that hand is just trash to me. It's not a bad opening. It would be really good if I had a Zombie Chow. Because then I could force my opponent to actually have to trade into the Zombie Chow. If my opponent ends up coining... If they end up using a shielded minibot, this is like the perfect answer. Because it's a 2/3, it doesn't die to the initial phase of the shielded minibot. Fucking Spider Tank. Oh, it's Noxramas. Interesting. Noxramas is ours, actually, I think you'll find. So my opponent has used their coin. It's unlikely that they trade here, I don't think.
For the crusade!
I don't think it's super likely. Possible. It's definitely possible, but... Yeah, evidently not super likely. Void Caller actually doesn't summon anything right now. Is that something I should consider? Yeah, it is. Actually, I should have tapped first, just in case. I don't need to go desperately for the face. Armor of Wrath is fine. Instead of draining life and tapping, I think that's actually the immature play. I think that's not a good idea. I think developing a Silverhand Knight...
Ready, sir.
That's going to be a 5/5, so... I think developing the Silverhand Knight is actually a mature play. And just accepting that I'm risking something a little by not immediately responding to my opponent's cards, but that I'm hoping that the Squire goes in here. Or that, you know, it has to die with another card to kill the Knight here. It's relatively possible that I should have used my 4/4 to kill the 3/1 last turn. I was thinking only about using it to attack for face, but... like, the only way that it matters is if my opponent has a 1 damage card, and they're a paladin, they don't.
Let me think.
I guess it's a little weaker against Consecration as well, but my opponent's going to do the same thing, just attack there and Consecrate if they had it.
I must move quickly.
So that's like priority target number 1 for Drain Life.
I will
Holy shit, they have that. Interesting. So I attack here. That happens. That needs to die as well. Or I attack here, drain life there, and make a zombie chow. Actually, I'd still drain life there. No. No. Hold on to it. There's the drain life costs so much for so little that I just can't abide its use. That's still a card for a card that's also already killed a card, right? Although it's also worth noting that the Scarlet Crusader had already killed something as well. Now I can drain life that, because I can actually play another card on the same turn, Void Caller. Pretty good card. And I can also kill a bunch of stuff. Actually, I'm gonna go with these two. This isn't super weak to Consecrate, and I possibly stretch the Piloted Sky Golem to kill two things before it even starts its death rattle, which is the main effect of it. Yeah, if it kills that and then goes for the death rattle, that is 100% fine. Oh, that seems like you've actually done that correctly. You cheeky twat. That's actually the best one I could have gotten as well. I want my opponent to be super threatened by at least something on my board, because they need to stop going for my face. It's entirely possible that I lost the game ages ago and I don't know yet, right? It's entirely possible that their hand contains Hammer of Wrath, Hammer of Wrath. That would be an example of something that would have made me lose the game and not know about it yet. I don't really have that many taunts in my deck. I can kill it. That's worth noting.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Ready for this?
I did take an Earthen Ring Fast here in the end, didn't I? 4 damage charge. Do I just lose? No, he's going for removal. Unless he has 5 damage in hand and he's just dicking with me.
Not on my
Fuck. That's not good.
Don't blink.
Push forward.
My opponent has 3 damage on field. The Consecration will now win them the game. If they trade with the 2-2, I know that they have basically no direct damage in hand. Because as a Paladin, if you have, say... Ooh. Oh, of course you don't want to trade. Hang on. Interesting. Very interesting. Get me a taunt.
Don't blink.
But yeah, as a Paladin, if you have 1 damage, you actually have 2 damage, right? You usually have more damage than it looks like. Yeah.
Well played.
Oh well. We tried. We tried a lot. We tried very hard and got very close. I'm relatively proud of that performance, actually. What did we pick? Oh. I should probably go re-roll this quest then. Well, it looks like I'm not going to be re-rolling that quest. What did we pick? Over the big game hunter, that is. I think it was the, Noxramas, Shade of Noxramas. Did the Shade of Noxramas perform to an extent that it's better than a big game hunter that would have taken out the 7/7 with the Divine Shield? I'm gonna say no. So in that game, in that game, the Shade of Noxramas was a weak link. Also, not attacking earlier with it, and just allowing my opponent to kind of plow my face with damage, that was a weak link as well. I think without that, there's a relatively high chance that I would have won, but all of that is hindsight, unfortunately. One Zombie Chow is completely fine by me. If I get the Shattered Sun, we probably do okay. I was about to say win, but we only do that if we have the coin, right? It's because your opponent does nothing on turn 1, you play a Zombie Chow, they put out a 2-drop, you play a coin onto the Zombie Chow. Sorry, coin the Shattered Sun, buffing the Zombie Chow, which goes to a 3/4, which is powerful enough to kill almost any 2-drop minion they put down, and survive. And then you are so far ahead, unless they have, like, perfect removal. Like an Arcane Missiles that just so happens to work in the exact right way. Interesting. Fuck me dead. Actually, that's the way I want to do it. Because that needs to die. That's non-optional. I don't have a turn 3 play if that's still alive.
I must consider.
Okay. I guess that's one way to play the video game. So my opponent used the coin to summon a Nerebar, which they then had to buff with an Inner Fire in order to actually trade for minions. So that's 2.5 cards for one of my minions. Somehow I feel like I got out on the top side of that one. It's also worth noting that I probably shouldn't hold on to the Void Caller until I have another demon in hand. That's probably another mistake that I made last game. Because I held onto it until I had another one in hand, and then by the time I had another one in hand, it didn't matter anymore. Okay.
Push forward.
So this reduces my vulnerability to Holy Nova a little bit, because I removed my 4/3. Sorry, 3/2. But Holy Nova still here, removes these from my board. Oh, fuck me dead. You kidding me? It's always the most powerful minion that you have. Always. Infallibly. This isn't good this turn, so it definitely involves tapping. Yeah, I'm a little mad about that one. Because that's such a huge swing for them.
You insist.
Just get at least one of those. Preferably this one.
Shields up.
That's so annoying. I've been watching so much Arena recently as well, and almost every time I watch a pro player, right, play 4 minions, they're like, yeah, sure, I'll just play these 4 minions, that's not a problem. But every time I do it, I get mind control teched. Infallibly. It's incredible, and at the same time, soul draining to watch.
got this.
If my opponent can't counter my 6/6 this turn, then I'm going to Faceless Manipulate and tap. And then I'll just have both of those guys going hog wild on the field. They can. They totally can. What? They can't. Interesting.
In the light's name. I got this.
The thing that makes me the saddest right now is holding over. It would be in the very left of their hand as well. Master Spell actually being useful. God. Such a bad player. So many fringe scenarios that, like, I just can't play around. That evidently I should be playing around. How dare you challenge the Daughter of Death? You dare challenge the Daughter of Death? You can't dare challenge the Daughter of Deathwing. Please don't challenge the Daughter of Deathwing. Here's the part where it's like... Coin? Do they have the coin? Shadow Word Death. I was about to say coin, mind control, or Shadow Word Death, but...
Get behind me.
Probably should have played the Trogg to try and bait out Shadow Word Death. Whatever. That seems good, but it doesn't generate anything on the field. So I'm gonna kill as many of these as I can just to remove my vulnerability to a bunch of different stuff. Here's the part where my opponent has a second mind control tech, they take the Trogzor, and I cry for a millennium. Don't doubt me. What the fuck is this video game? Alright, never mind. It's a really good video game. I like it a lot. It's actually a really good video game. Oh man. 10 out of 10. Only video game that can make me go from to so many different facial expressions in half a second. Did you catch them all? Ooh. Yeah, I think I'll take a Burly Rockjaw Trogg for that.
What you want?
Baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. And all I'm asking is for a little respect when you get home. Just a little bit, mister. I only sing that when someone plays a Frostwolf Grunt, because obviously his vocal line is, what you want. But it's so rare. I should have a song for each character. And the whole episode should just be musical. There's got to be a Trogdor the Burninator song that would be played on the event in which a Trogzor were played. Or maybe it should be a thing that's rare, so it's only for epics and legendaries that have their own song. I don't know.
The light shall bring victory.
I really like Bomb Lover, but I've come to learn that you don't ever want to use it as a 5-drop unless you already hold the board. And I'm not comfortable in already holding the board, because I don't have 1-drop. Oh, hello, 1-drop! I don't know how I feel about that. Are they going to make mature play and sacrifice something? At the start of your turn, heal a damaged friendly character. So now it'll heal itself. If I attack the face, it would have healed the face. It doesn't matter. But I'm prepped to kill this with just using both of these. Also, if my opponent inner fires this, like they would have to powered shield and then inner fire it in order to actually save it from me just killing it next turn. Like, it doesn't matter what I attack right now. The reason I played the Scarlet Crusader over the Spider Tank in this situation is because next turn, if I don't want to play the Void Caller, I can instead play Mech Warper into Spider Tank. Whereas if I play Spider Tank, obviously, I lose the possible savings that I could get from the Mech Warper.
The damned stand ready.
I'm kind of glad they used the silence on a Divine Shield. Because if they used it on this, it would effectively be a lot like killing a Void Caller. Heal that back up. Okay. Actually a really good idea. Saves my zombie chow. Okay. Now, do I want to go with a free tap or a Mech Warper? I'm going to go with a Mech Warper, and the reason being that I can actually adjust my turn 6 by playing a Spider Tank and a Void Caller, and also, as a 2-3, it's not actually vulnerable to Holy Nova. So, that's kind of all of the thought that went into that one. So I can either choose to sacrifice this in order to prevent my opponent's Acolyte of Pain from... They have to have activators in their deck. You don't play both a Nerubian Egg and... Ooh, interesting. No, I'll sacrifice this. It'll just summon a Void Caller, that's fine. Actually, probably should have tapped beforehand, because I knew I was going to tap, and if this summons a... Yeah, it didn't matter. But if off the top deck I got, you know... Floating Watcher, it's possible that sacrificing the other one would have summoned a Floating Watcher, which would have been a lot better, obviously. And now it doesn't matter. I'm very happy that you do that. It doesn't matter to me anymore. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Thank you. Both of these are going down to health regardless of what I do. So I have some vulnerability on board to Holy Nova, but not actually that much vulnerability. I have some vulnerability to Light Bomb, but I can't. Is everyone drafting Gadgetson? Well played. But is everyone drafting Gadgetson now? Is that new top tier? Is that the new meta? I was not informed. 2-1. If we can get the Warlock Dominance quest done, I will be so proud. So proud. Because if you've been, again, with me for a while, you might notice I don't play Warlock all that often. There's a reason for that. Warlock and I, we're not friends. Gul'dan and I, we ain't tight. We're not close like that. We ain't thick as thieves. It's a problem I've had from the very start of playing Arena, where every time I play Warlock, I suck ass. I'm real bad. Okay. So I can coin a 2 into a 2, but if my opponent actually doesn't have a very aggressive 1-drop, like if they actually don't play a 1-drop at all, fuck me dead. The only 2-drop that I'm worried about is actually Wolf, so I'm still gonna do it. But it's possible that I get my Spider Tank out as a 2-drop, and that's incredible. You would have seen, actually, let's start talking about the fact that there was a new announcement for Hearthstone. You would have seen if you watched the Grand Tourney stream that there was a 3/4 totem with Overload 1 announced for the Shaman, obviously. And that's really cool. It was a 2 mana, Overload 1, 3/4 totem card. It was amazing. It was really powerful in a lot of the games. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, this is not that good. That's a little bit better now. Actually, it's a lot better now. And yeah, it performed admirably, constantly. We basically just got that, pretty much. Fuck! Attack face, don't attack the 3. Is that even better for me? So I attack there. Then it does its AoE, and I can kill that. Then I end up with a 3/1 on my field. Or I attack there, it does its AoE, and then I trade over there, and I end up with nothing on my field. Okay, this is 100% correct. I end up with a 3/1. Okay. I just had to constantly reassure myself of that one. I kind of want to play the Mech Warper in the Spider Tank. Actually, I'm going to Mech Warp, and then I'm going to Sun Fury on this side so that my opponent can't use their True Silver Champion in order to kill this. And the reason behind that is if I can get out a piloted Sky Golem this early in the game, it will Shrek them. A late piloted Sky Golem is like, yeah, whatever. But an early piloted Sky Golem is like, oh damn son. He brought his A game to a game. It's fine by me. I don't really want its initial health value. Consecrate is a little too good right now. I'm considering trading all of my things into this. It's not that bad. It's actually not that bad. It also guarantees that this gets the buff. Which, as I've said before, 1 damage is relatively close to 2 damage when you're versing a paladin. If they have one of those statistic points, they'll have the other.
Reporting for duty.
Actually, this is really important now, because it'll constantly buff this by 1 every turn, and my opponent won't be able to catch up to it. So I'll put this on this side. Not that positioning matters, but I'll put it on that side. Actually, positioning would matter with Wii Spellstopper specifically, and that would mean that I want the Draconid Crusher on this side. Fuck. So if this summoned Wii Spellstopper, I would be wrong. Let's hope I'm not wrong. You wouldn't like me when I'm wrong. I think they're lamenting the fact that if they Blessing of Kings one of these and then run it in, they still lose the Blessing of Kings. Oh dear. That's going against this, 100%. Yeah. Because you don't want to kill this, you don't want to activate its Death Rattle. You might have a Silence in the deck that you're waiting on drawing, but at the same time, you just don't want to activate the Death Rattle if you don't have to. You'd rather wait it out. You can't outrun this, bitch. Oh, Cookie, I feel for you, buddy. I really do, because I've been in your shoes. There's the Blessing of Kings. They're probably gonna... What? They went for the completely wrong one, in my opinion. Okay. Tap first. Now I play this one, and then attack in order to specifically summon this. Okay. I'm gonna hold some cards in hand, just for the moment. But this is my win condition right now. That's really good for them. They needed to draw some cards to catch back up, especially considering I can tap every turn now. I'm sorry to be ya. I'm considering whether I would have used Hellfire if I actually had access to it. I still just need to thin down my opponent's side of the board.
Hey, give me a minute.
However, I don't care about attacking a 1-1. Especially because if my opponent puts Blessing of Kings on this and attacks here, I'll just tap Hellfire and then I win the game by attacking the face. So they need Blessing of Kings plus something else in order to win the game through buffs. Well played, 3-1. It's starting to look more and more like the first loss was anomalous. Which is a, opinion of the first loss that I'm always willing to foster. Because I like to make it look like at least I have some confidence, some confidence in the deck. You just had to take a quick sip of the go-go juice. There's a warrior, so we might win this one.
Victory or death! Your soul shall be mine!
I can't hold on to the Void Caller hoping for a 2-drop and a Void Caller. I'd rather just... Oh my god, that looks so good, but it's not. It's a 2-3 into a 2-3 into a 2-3. If my opponent plays a, say, Spider Tank at any point, it trades for 2 of... Never mind, I don't care anymore. I got the Wild Pyromancer, so it's everything's fine, don't worry. Fuck. So now I just want to save the minion that I know will trade up for later. So instead I play the Sunfury Protector and just let the Fiery War Axe eat it. It's so unfortunate. The Fiery War Axe is so powerful this early. It's incredible. It's unparalleled. Okay. And this is why I played this rather than the Wild Pyromancer. Because now I can play the Wild Pyromancer and it'll be able to kill this easily. I'm not actually going to do it, though. I'm going to play this, because if my opponent attacks into it, then I get to attack back, right? But it's also possible that I just get to coin Bomb Lob next turn. And that becomes really valuable. This might be a stupid, stupid move, but I'm doing it. Because now that dies to anything on my side of the field. And then I get to play the Bomb Lob and naturally, next turn, and adjust whatever they play with weak minions. It looks like they're trying to go face a lot, so I'm going to assume they have a very large amount of weapons in their deck as well. Excuse me. Fuck me, Dad. Interesting, but doesn't help. It doesn't matter what I attack or what I cast, to be completely honest with you. Should just do that. I'm kind of going to have to start relying on my late game now. I think that was... I'm seriously going to need to sit down and, like, actually map out the exact amount of cards that I have as a result of each of those plays before I decide whether or not that was a good play or not. It's kind of annoying. Gives my opponent a little bit more of an edge if they're going to go face. I kind of want them to have a very, very slow turn, because then if I Trogg Zor, they're going to be very scared of casting spells. Okay. The Oasis Snapjaw gets to eat this. Like, that just happens now. So I may as well try and get in as much damage as possible before it happens. It's also noteworthy that if the Oasis Snapjaw is going to eat this, there's no reason I attack into it with the Zombie Chow this turn, because it'll have 4 health afterwards. I may as well just polish it off with the Trogg Zor.
Back to work.
Oh, is this going to go all face? All face all the time. This is the wildest man of all time. They probably have a Corcoran in hand, in which case I've already lost.
Alternating time.
Like, I can try and go for value, but it's almost certain that I'm already dead to a Corcoran Elite. I've already used my Sun Fury Protector. I think that's actually the only taunts I have in the entire deck.
Magic detected.
No, they went face. That means no Corcoran, though. Wolf Rider? You being a dick and you have Wolf Rider? They don't have Wolf Rider. Oh, they have another weapon in hand, of course. Yeah. That's the only thing that explains them not killing me that turn and yet being so confident, evidently, that they can kill me. They have another weapon that they're just waiting to put in hand. So Death's Bite, Arcanite Reaper, Gorehowl, Fiery War Axe, etc, etc, etc. They didn't have a targeting reticule beforehand, so that's not targeting anything. I can tell you that before it happens. 12, 16. Do I have lethal? 6, 6. Yeah, I have exactly lethal. Oh, no, I'm even 2 over lethal. Well played. I'm amazed they didn't have that final weapon, and yet they still didn't go for removal. It's possible they looked at my board and went, look, the only way I'm going to win is if I top deck my damage, but I guess in that case, I'm very grateful they didn't. That worked out really well for me. Man. And to think, I was considering tapping for the possibility of getting like a Dark Bomb. Would that have actually been a really clever idea? I'm gonna say no. I think I might have almost fucked that game up very, very early on when I made the Pyromancer play rather than just coining out the dude.
You asked for it.
But it would have been responded to with a weapon and then I wouldn't have had removal. The fact that I had 2 dudes on the board was really important at that point because the cleave wasn't relevant for 2 turns afterwards. Was it relevant for 2 turns afterwards or was it relevant that turn? God, my memory is not good right now. Damn it. This will have to be my substitute 3-drop, which means that I'm going to be making my own Wild Pyromancer vulnerable to ping. I'm not particularly happy about that. As long as they don't drop a 1, like, as long as they don't coin a 2 and then follow with a 2, I'll be in an okay position. I'm pretty nervous about that, though.
I greet you.
That's so good. I cannot tell you how pleased I am to have drawn that instead. So this means they can't use coin to accelerate their play this turn without incurring the wrath of the Stone Splinter Trogg. So happy. Look at me, I got rosy red cheeks, I'm so pleased about it. Or it might just be that I'm so white as to almost be translucent. Don't you fucking dare. Okay. So currently that goes 1 for 1. That's completely fine by me. If I can kill something with the Bane of Doom... Hang on. After you cast the spell. So that resolves afterwards, which means that if it's the AoE from the Wild Pyromancer that kills the enemy, the Bane of Doom does not summon a minion, a demon. That's the way that it looks like it reads, right? The 2 damage from this doesn't kill a minion, but then this triggers an AoE afterwards that does.
Power flows through me.
It's fine.
From the
I don't have a super optimal way to kill this, like it would be Dark Bomb attack, so I'm just gonna generate a minion. See, if he attacks in here, and then just generates another minion, I get to kill this with the Bane of Doom. I'm gonna guess that that's probably, the Silence dude. From the void I come and to the void. The problem that I'm having right now is obviously I don't have anything in hand to actually be summoned by these demon void callers. So they're like it's an overcosted 3-drop at this point for me. It may as well not have a death rattle. You don't want to trigger one of these just in the off case. Damn it. I was very hopeful they weren't going to trigger that. Regardless, it's still correct to do that. Because now I've got a 6-6 up against a 4-6, and as long as my opponent doesn't fireball it, or polymorph ping, then I'm still in a pretty good position. That's a fireball. I need... The thing is, because obviously I can't remove this with spells, so I need something that can by itself contest the Spectral Knight, and I don't want to have to go Mech Warper, Zombie Chow, contest the Spectral Knight. It's too much. Really? That's interesting. I mean, like, it's completely fair, but it's interesting. I'm about to walk straight into Flame Strike if I go Mech Warper, Sun Fury, that kind of stuff. I have to tap. Okay, so the goal behind this play is I want my opponent, first off, to not be able to use Mind Control Tech, but I also want them to think about Flame Striking. Right? That's 3 cards for a Flame Strike. That's actually relatively valuable Flame Strike. I would prefer if they Flame Striked early rather than Flame Strike after I play Onyxia. Really good. Really, really good.
I got this.
So, see, now if they Flame Strike, I also get a 4-drop. Flame Strike. It's from the very left of the hand. You know what? I'm gonna read that as they definitely have Flame Strike and they decided not to play it.
Your magic shall not save you.
Because they didn't want to summon the 4-drop. It's a lot of Wind Fury. Some absolutely furious wind right there. If they have Flame Strike and I play Onyxia right now, I lose. This has enough health to contest either of them, so that's why I played it. But yeah, if I play Onyxia in that situation, I lose. It's 4 for double hit is 8, and then 6, and then 3. So 8, 6, 3 is maths. I think that roughly equates to mathematics. Okay, Okay, so I have to assume I'm killing both of these this turn, and I have to assume that's not mirror image, otherwise I'm going to lose anyway. Actually, I can test that first. May as well test it first. So it's not mirror image. So if that's duplicate, I want it to duplicate Mech Warper. Sorry, not Mech Warper. I want it to duplicate Enhancer. Because Enhancer is less good, basically. And now I can't tap, otherwise a Fireball plus Ping will actually take me out of the game. This will make it a lot more difficult for my opponent to use Flame Strike just to remove me from the video game. So that's the card they actually top decked. Both of these are Enhancer Meccano. There's these 4 cards over here that they've held for ages and done nothing about. Pretty sad right now. I would describe myself as a relatively sad man. The only card that saves me right now is... Oh, Hellfire does as well, but... The card that I was... No, Hellfire doesn't do it. The card I'm thinking of is... Shattered Sun. Same thing, I need to remove a Force Tank Max. And I'm gonna have to use Trogzor to do it. I have to tap for it. Nope. No matter what I do right now, I cannot remove the Force Tank Max, which means that I just lose next turn. Well played.
Well played.
Hello.
You win this time.
If I didn't tap, and I just went for the attack there and went attack to face, right? My opponent has Ping plus 7. All they need is 1 damage in hand. But that also locks me out from tapping, so I wouldn't be able to tap next turn. I know that I don't have many taunts at all in my deck. In fact, I'm almost certain earlier in that game I used my only taunt-giving creature, the Sun Fury Protector. Actually trying to even stabilize that board without dealing with the 7/7 makes me lose the game anyway. Because I just lose it the turn after to another Ping. Because I obviously don't have heal. Outside of Drain Life. So I still think what I did there was correct. If I ended up getting the Hellfire or the Shattered Sun Cleric, that would have been perfect. But, yeah.
I must protect the wild. Your soul shall be mine.
Too many. You go back and you go back. Oh, fuck me dead. Now I've got a Zombie Chow and I don't even want to coin out a 2... Fuck. Here's the goal. Top deck, Shattered Sun Cleric. It doesn't matter either way right now, actually. Still would have been good. It's so unlikely that this just kills the Zombie Chow. Didn't kill the Zombie Chow. Might kill this. I was living in the world where it's much more likely, in fact almost infinitely more not almost, but whatever. It's much more likely that it possibly kills the Fairy Dragon by itself. So I wanted to play it just in case. Probably go 2 coin 2. Yeah.
I can't do that.
As much as I want to have the Bane of Doom on turn 4, like coin a Bane of Doom, this is much more important. I can tap and Dark Bomb next turn.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Not super pleased about that one, actually. I don't even want to Dark Bomb it, but it's good for my tempo. And I obviously had to kill it rather than just go face, because if he swept at that point, he'd be left with a 4-1 and I'd have a clear board and 2 less damage on... Sorry, 2 less health on my face.
I have returned.
Good thing I can kill it. Kind of annoyed it goes back in his deck, whatever. Luckily it'll take until... Shit, that's a 7-drop? God damn. If BGH and Silence weren't relatively popular in the meta, that would be a really powerful card. So I never really want to pop my opponent's Piloted Shredder. That's their job. Fuck. Unless I want to play something that it's perfect for it to attack. I could even Bane of Doom. I'm so far ahead that Bane of Doom might be a really good idea. Does Piloted Sky Golem put me that far? No, actually, Piloted Sky Golem is fine, because it will take 2 mana away from my opponent in order to kill it, which means they're deprived of all of their really good 7-drops. Malorn, Ancient of War, Ancient of Law. If they want to use that. And they get 3 damage to face, whatever.
It's clobbering time.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, wee. Ah, fuck. Swipe. Yeah. They had the 50-50 for getting the right hit there. They managed to get the right hit. Oh well.
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
I wanted to play Trogzor, but I'd rather play Trogzor on a turn where I can actually also tap. Our opponent's running real low and... God damn it. They're the most accurate Ogre Brutes of all time, ladies and gentlemen.
If you insist.
So I should probably stop tapping at this point. The only thing I really die to right now is aggression. So we're talking like Starfire to the face, fill the board, and just... Savage Roar would be really bad. If you've got Echoing Ooze, you've definitely got buffs in your deck, right? Echoing Ooze is not that great of an epic. It is if you have the ability to duplicate it and do cool things like that. Duplicate buffs, I mean. So I want to play things with a relatively high health total. Because low attack stats seems not to matter. My opponent is playing mostly things with relatively low health.
Where shall I strike?
Yeah, they're an entirely aggressive deck. So I do need to remove the entire board. Okay. So, 6, 6, 6, and 4. So that's 22. That's actually really, really... Like, that could end my run right now. For the sake of leaving myself with the most stuff on board in order to cause lethal, I do this. I only missed 6 damage on face. Yeah, I didn't miss lethal. And I guess there's almost no reason not to generate that. Alright.
Well played.
They could be saying well played either way. They could have the damage or they couldn't have the damage. Yeah, they got it. Oh well. And as predicted, they had buffs in their deck. So not having taunts in that deck, and so what pick would have fixed that? Taking the Lord of the Arena, maybe? Would have been a good idea to fix that. And not having heal in that deck were really, really bad for me because I managed to stabilize me at the very end of the game, but then my opponents just needed to wait until they drew direct damage, which happened fucking often. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Alright. Let's open a pack and see what we get. Was that a golden divine favor as well that we got? If it is, I'm gonna D that so fast it's head or spin. Because the card art is a picture of a head. Okay, okay, I'm liking the look of it. Let's quickly go to my collection, go to crafting, disenchant those extra cards. And, oh, Bite, apparently, is new to me. Cool. Now, at the end, my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Hearthstone Arena, the name of the deck has been... You know what? I'm just gonna call it Trogg. I like it. It's elegant in its simplicity. Plus, we had a Stone Splinter Trogg and Trogzor himself. Hopefully, you've been enjoying yourself. If you have, please click like. It does help me get my content out to new people. There's also a playlist in the description down below with all of my content on Hearthstone Arena, Hearthstone Ranked, Hearthstone Tavern Brawl, and Hearthstone Adventures. There we go. Past, present, and future, and hopefully we'll see you next time.